In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the fog lights on this Ford Ranger. Let's get started. If you look through the fender well towards the front bumper, you can see that right there, there's a mounting nut, and that is what holds on the entire, well, this is one of the four that hold on the entire front bumper. So there will be one here, one on the other side of this frame rail, and then the same symmetrically on the other side. So let's take them all off. Take an 18mm socket and a swivel, if you need it, depending on what your setup is, and remove this mounting nut. As you may have seen, I sprayed it with rust penetrant. It's always a good idea to do that so that the threads can slide a little bit easier. Hopefully yours isn't as rusty though. On the other side of the frame rail, you can see the stud poking through that hole. It's the same size nut, 18mm. There you go. Now you want to do the same to the other side. And since we're right here, before we move further, let's unplug the fog light bulbs. Pull back on the tab and out on the connector. And now, carefully remove the entire front bumper assembly. Next, you'll notice that there are some plastic push clips, and they actually kind of look like rivets, and they act like rivets too. And they're all along the top of this bumper cover here. This is what they look like. And we're gonna have to punch out the center so we can actually unlock the entire thing. And they are single time use, so after this, you'll either want more of these plastic rivet push clip style retainers or just regular push clips, which is what I'm going to use so that they can be reusable in the future. Having said that, grab a punch and a hammer, and to unlock them, you could also just cut them since they're single time use, but the way to properly unlock them is to put a punch right in the center, punch it through. There we go. And once you do that, you can take a trim tool, pry this up a little bit, and remove the entire plastic rivet / push clip and discard it. Like I said, it's a one-time use only. So now just go along the top and do the same to all the rest. I'm just going to cut this one. Sometimes they can be a little bit stubborn and stuck. And sometimes they go on the first try. If you flip the bumper upside down, you'll see more of this style retainers right next to the fog lights. And if you actually look throughout it, there are more right in the center here. As you can see, there are several all along the center. So we're going to want to punch those out as well so we can release the rest of the bumper cover assembly. To make things easier, you can also remove this lower valence air dam. Has a bunch of different names, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you can remove this piece. It just has tabs that slide and lock in, so if you pull it, it'll pop out. This should give you a little bit better access to those clips. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now with all these push clips removed, we should be able to pull this bumper cover off. Oh, there we go. All right, take that off. To take the fog light assemblies out, there are 3 8mm bolts. There's supposed to be one here, and this one right here is for me 10mm. So someone's been here before, but regardless, to take this one out, it's going to be easiest. You can do it with a wrench, but it's going to be easiest to just pull this shield off. So it'll be up to you. I'm going to pull it off, but if you want to just stick a wrench, a lot of times they are rusty. Now, of course, mine is missing, so I don't even have one here. And likely it's because of this situation. Someone probably took it out and never put it back in. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to put it back in, and it'll be easiest since I will most likely have to deal with rusty threads in here if I pull this shield off. So again, it's up to you. You can leave this on, you can pull it off. I'm going to take it off. I have clear access to the back side of these clips, so I'm just going to cut them off. Like I said, they're one-time use anyway. Once I do that, I can just pull it straight through. For these, it's easier if I just hammer them. Okay. All right, so this piece is off. Now we have clear access to the fog lights. Of course, everything I do on this side, you're going to want to do the same to the other side. You'll see now at the top right here, this is my 10mm bolt that someone installed, and this is the one that's missing. Let's remove this. I sprayed it with rust penetrant from underneath. Looks like this one wasn't really tight to begin with, so that's an issue. Hopefully the threads are okay. And then there's going to be this 8mm bolt right here. They're all supposed to be 8mm in size, but with a truck this age and with this mileage, they're most likely not. So there we go. And then you would remove this one as well. And the fog light assembly should come right out. Now let's put the fog light assemblies back in and start in the mounting bolts. Snug them up, 2 on top and 1 on the side. Okay, that's nice and secure. Now it comes time to putting this plastic piece back on, and I'm going to use push clips, plastic push clips. If you have plastic rivets, go ahead and do that. But for me, push clips is going to be the way to go. I'm going to flip it over and start with these 2 up top. Doesn't matter where you start with, that's just easiest for me. Okay, there we go. Now let's flip it to the side and put in the ones on the side. Okay, this is locked in tight. Let's not forget about this one up here. Okay, find the closest match, slide it in, and lock it down. And now it's time to put the top bumper cover back on. So to do that, we just have to slide this back into place. Sandwich it all together again. Make sure the sides get tucked in. And now it's push clip time again. Let's put all the ones in the center first. Now you want to flip this around, and we have all these tabs here that also need to lock in. And we have these 2 on the side here. And of course do the same to the other side. Now take this piece, and it has all these push clips in here. You just want to line them up and basically tap it in, and it should lock into place. I'm going to start in the center, that way it's centered, and then work my way towards each side. Now, with the entire assembly, well, reassembled, it's time to put it back on the truck. So these are the holes that you're going to want to aim for, and the 2 studs should eventually line up if you wiggle it back and forth enough. Oh, that's one side, and that's the other side. All right, there we go. At this point, I'm going to use a pull jack to set the height of this. I want it up as high as possible. You don't want it to basically droop down like this. This is all the way down. I mean, if this is what you're looking for, sure, but technically it's supposed to sit quite a bit higher, right about there. So I'm going to get a pull jack so that I can hold or put pressure on this as I tighten the mounting nuts from the backside. That way I don't have to hold it myself. Now, with one side supported, reach in here and start the mounting nut on the other side. I'm going to start, well, both of them, not just one. This one, you can't really see much or very well. There we go, I got it. All right, because the outer one is easiest, I'm just going to tighten that one, push the bumper up. I'll come back and check it, but for now, we have to tighten up the one that's more difficult to get to. Regardless of the torque, I will not be able to fit a torque wrench on this one here just because of its location. So right off the bat, I'm going to make it nice and snug by hand with a long ratchet. All right, that's pretty tight. Get all my tools out of there. Now let's tighten the rest of them. Since both of these are tight, might as well torque them now. The torque for them, all 4 of these mounting nuts, is 52 foot-pounds. That's it right there. I cannot torque the one that we just tightened by hand, but fortunately on the other side I can torque all 3. So I'm confident that both of these are tight. Let's move to the other side. And now for the side that was supported by the pull jack, I took that off so I can hold it by hand in position. Once again, 52 foot-pounds. All right, don't forget to plug the fog lights in. There you go, job done. Take it for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.